top right-hand side is going to be our blue Zerg player. Well, guys, again, if you don't want spoilers for GSL Super Tournament, I advise you watch the stream muted, because it's kind of hard to cast players that were in the Super Tournament without sort of talking about their results, because it's very apparent. Are we all muted? Spoilers literally inbound right now. Our GSL Super Tournament champion in the top right side is the blue Zerg player, Solar. How freaking cool is that? Go Solar again, a big win again, finally. It's taken him so long to get that W. As he's in the top right side, taken on from DPG in the bottom left-hand side, the red Terran player Cure. As we kick off into map number 1 of this best of 5 series, we get this up and rolling, get this underway. We see what's going to be happening today. Very, very exciting stuff as we get everything started. Finally at the playoffs. I feel like this event's kind of been a weird one on my side. I feel like we've had a big portion of this event be not as exciting as I wanted it to be. There was a lot of parts of the tournament where, I felt like the round of 24 kind of glossed by, and first few matches of the round of 16 I wasn't super hyped about either, but yesterday's group was amazing, and obviously really excited for these playoffs here in our biggest WardiTV event ever. Which is honestly just crazy as well. We'll see who gets crowned the champion on Sunday. But today, we've got ourselves, obviously, the quarterfinals. One match from each of these players. Solar sends out a sad face. A little bit of lag on the Korean server. Hello? That's not fun. Hopefully, that's not going to last. Hopefully, that's something that just gets sorted out nice and quickly. No real issues as we get things underway. Reaper coming across the map, SCV coming by, just going to be seeing where we go with this. Obviously, this first game, Tropical Sacrifice Solar's map pick to begin with, as we get things just started. We do have a little grenade going down, drone gets bopped, some lings taking a little bit of damage as well, so some bits and damage here and there. Nothing too crazy just yet as we go through our early stages of the game. Maybe just gonna go patrolling at the front. Link speed's down, and yeah, pretty peaceful then, all said and done. As for the moment, we'll just get going for the moment. Little Ripper Grenade goes down, Queen takes a shot of damage, Hatcher taking some hits. You're gonna see the Queen fighting back against the Reaper for a few moments as well, so Reaper continue to take a few more shots right now as that Queen will come across and drop down a creep teammate once again. It's just gonna keep this Reaper at bay. That's pretty much all we got going on here early. As the Reaper having some fun, but otherwise, yeah, this is just a 3cc, pretty standard stuff. Looks like we're getting into a nice little comfortable macro game to begin with here, which, yeah, very much so about that. Spring coming up on the natural, then the couple of Hellions and the Reaper coming through from Q, moving through to the far right-hand side. Just going to be seen out. Reaper just going to put a bit more damage out. The Queen's going to get bopped by the grenade as well. A couple of Hellions continue to try and do some further damage. Orbital Command coming up, Viking coming in. A few extra drones producing with a couple of Lings also. All of that still coming up. Overlord gets knocked down. A couple of Hellions still coming through the Liberate building. And we do have the stim pack on its way up as well. It's just getting this underway. As our units will move over the right-hand side. I'm just going to see a couple of spores, a few drones. All of this getting going as our Hellions come in, chasing down the Queen a little bit. Our Viking will come through for this Overlord and this Queen. They'll come fighting back. Going to be able to get that Overlord kill though, Secure at least getting some damage done early as the double evolution chamber is on its way through, and we're getting an extra set of drones on the way, and our Lings gathering up as well out in the center. Another couple of Overlords just popping out. I'm just going to be seeing our refineries building from QA. So building those refineries, building a couple of racks. SCV still producing as well. Just going to be seeing our queens are going to be making their way up to the top of the map as well. So far, so good. Let's see what else will go on, guys. 1 second, I just got to answer one question. Marines getting chased around, guys. Apologies. As Hellions and Marines making their way up to the top side of the map. Just going to be seeing our Overlord in a little bit of trouble, and that's going to get knocked down. As Kira is over here, but Solar kind of hasn't penned into the top side. I mean, maybe you could argue you could jump in the main, but one of those medifacts is low. So that's going to be very dangerous. As the units, again, the Marines just going to continue getting healed up by the medevacs. I'm just going to see the couple of medevacs of Kira making their way down through the bottom side of the map. So away they go on that journey. Drone comes across to build the hatchery and is going to get picked off pretty much straight away. We're just going to be seeing the rest of these Marines and Widow Mines continuing to drop in as well. And as we continue to stem on forward, the Creep Tumors continue to drop. So Creep Tumor after Creep Tumor currently going down. We've got a couple of single Lings moving forward, trying to set some of those off. Just staying with this kind of split pressure. Gonna look for big Widow Mine shots here. He should have one. Wow, fantastic splits from Solar. That's truly some incredible stuff. Marines unloading, Lings going down, and a few Marines and Hellbats around the top with the Reaper as well. We do just have a hatchery. Is getting ready to go down in that 5th place position. I mean, Q's getting a lot of the creep spread too, which should take a lot of the control away from Solar. What was that Widow Mine? 33 kill Widow Mine, oh my goodness. I mean, he's been lurking for good Widow Mine shots, and Solar's had some excellent splits, but that was obviously just on the wrong end of it. Marines, Hellbats coming through, Dying 9, a little bit more creep spread. We've seen the Marines and Hellbats escaping away then. I mean, Solar's making his way into Lingbane and Hydra. He is stabilizing. I mean, he's still got a good economy. He did lose a chunk of units there, yes. You got to remember as well that this is Q that's put a lot of pressure off on the 5 racks. He's just now starting his 4th base, so it's not like he's got the 4th base super quickly or anything. It's not like it's late either. It's not like this was an 8 racks all in. But he was kind of like pretty heavy on this aggression. He's been pretty feisty with the 5 barracks so far. It's just going to be seeing our Hellbats getting a couple of shots off. Going to see some Banes rolling in. Marines and Hellbats will continue to get surrounded and pushed back. Just going to be seeing our Marines and Widow Mines continuing down through the center, getting rid of a couple more Creep Tumors. So just continuing to get rid of those as our Lings will come down to the bottom left. There's Widow Mine hits and a few Lings going down as well. Just going to be seeing a couple more Widow Mines continuing to come through. And just going to be seeing our Lings able to come back in, work on these depots, and just pick away at that for the moment. So we continue to put some work in. An extra group of banelings down on the south side. As that Bioforce comes forward, another couple of Widow Mines coming in. We're going to be seeing another Widow Mine setting up. More Lings, more Banes coming down. We're just going to have our Marines crashed into. And our Marines will actually get completely cleaned up. Off creep as well, so could have been some better splitting perhaps from Cure there. Maybe he would have had more of a chance. And, you know, if he was on creep, I can understand those Banes connecting. But off creep, it feels like you shouldn't really be letting the Banes get connections that are as good as that, for sure. Lings, Banes, Hydra's coming through. Just going to see the Lings coming across the left-hand side. We do have a couple of Widow Mines getting pushed back. We've seen our Lings will be coming back through. The Medevac's coming back across. And obviously Q just going to retreat for the moment. And this is going to extend into a bit of a longer game then with Adrenal Glands, +1 missiles, all of that already starting up. It's going to be seeing the Muscular Augments continuing to come on through. 22 Zerglings as well. The Ghost Academy building on the side of Cure. As that Adrenal Glands is just coming along. And this Bioforce looking to get a little bit of a stem through, get rid of some of the creep spread, and see what else can be done. There's a few Hydras trying to get on top of the Medevacs as well. As the Medevacs do escape out down to the south. Rest of the bio up to the top, looking for another hatchery over there. Is just going to be seeing this hatch is going to be denied. I mean, Solas was on 4 base for a while. He's gone up to 5. He's on his way to that forward base, so he does have a 6th as well. So he's not in immediate amounts of trouble. Here's our Lings come through. Amory Marauder gets lifted, and the Parasitic Bomb goes off, chasing away one of the Medevacs already. Drones going down. I mean, Kyo's still trying to play this harassing game while he gets into the later stages. Ghosts continuing through, 3-3 continuing through. The cloaking coming up for those ghosts as well as the +1 vehicle weapons is about to finish. And a couple of command centers still building on the side of Kyo's, just still getting those up and running. A couple more missile turrets coming in as well. And I'm just going to be seeing this Bioforce sitting pretty in the center. A few of those Lings will begin to go down. Tanks going off, the Lings, the Banes, the Hydras continue to take some shots. As we move forward here, a couple of tanks going off and a couple of Hydras continue to get picked away at. Some Marines that pull back on the left-hand side. Just going to be knocking that set of rocks down as mentioned. We got a few changelings moving over and check into this base on the left as well. "24 additional Banes on the way up as our Nidus network will finish up as well. Tank Siege is going to bang down a Ling already. And just going to be seeing a little bit of bio on the other side. Apparently was attacking his own center tower for a second there, or something. I'm not sure what else he hit, unless there was a Ling on top of that. The game really settles down. Cure, all that aggression, all that pressure, but now just laying it low. Like I say, he's getting the goals. He's happy to play a longer game. He's kind of where he wants to be, but obviously Solo doesn't really want him to be there. So he's going to try and come in and disrupt this now as the Banes come crashing on in. I mean, these are almost always going to be inefficient fights for the Zerg player. The question is kind of being effective with your inefficiency, right? And trying to obviously if you can take down some economy every single time, that's generally a very good thing to do. As these Banes coming forward a second time. Yeah, if you can get rid of some economy with these attacks, it's usually pretty great. Otherwise, it just become a bit of a struggle resources lost-wise. You see Solo's already 6.5k behind. And he will lose this base, but he has got the bottom right bases too. The good news for Solo is a game like this, on a map like this, is generally preferential for a Zerg because there's so many bases to be taken. So you can take so many bases over the Terran, make it very difficult for them to take each and every base. And when you do that, then you can basically say, well, I've got all day to finally find the trades that win me this game. You're not on a timer like you would be, on a map like Waterfall or Inside and Out that just have way less bases in general. Not sure about this. He's still moving in just from one direction, although the bio gets stuck on the siege tank and the command center. So quite a lot of those Banes ended up connecting on the tail end. We see another round of Banes. They're way too late to do anything. There's no way they get to reach off creep into that bio force, but the last few moments left from Solo looked pretty decent. This guys, I'll be one moment again. Sorry guys, getting a couple calls about my apartment that I'm selling, so apologies for that. Again, it's a couple times we've had to cut out. I appreciate. Not ideal, but it never is it? As plenty of Lings and Banes coming through, the couple of Hydras still coming along. The Nidus network is building from Solar down on that bottom side. We're just going to be getting another hatchery coming into play here from Solar, as well as the SCVs are dropping. Just going to be seeing the Lings, the Banes, the Hydras making their way into the center, the Queens too. We'll just continue to get set to push along over to the left-hand side as the Lurkers will get burrowed up. And it's going to be seeing the couple of SCVs go down. The depots will be in some trouble. So Solo really got his kind of upgraded army as well, right, with the Lurkers available, but he still needs to find value in some of these Ling Bane trades. That's kind of what he's getting here. Gets a good amount of units on this side. He's going to get a lot of the infrastructure, those depots going down. These Banes are somehow nearly reaching a chunk of bio as tanks are fighting Queens off on the top as well. We're just going to be seeing the rest of our Banes coming through. We drop another parasitic bomb. The Medevac still taking some damage. I'm just going to be seeing another Liberator of Cure pulling back over the left side. Cure's force still in the middle, and just going to be seeing Solar will have another group of Banelings. It's continuing up in the middle of the map there. And we do have the Lurkers continuing to fight. A Nidus network up onto the high ground. And that's just going to provide a little bit of vision as our Lurkers continue to get working through the factories and everything else. The Marauders, the Marines continue to come back across. Just going to be seeing our Ling Bane continue to flood on forward. As we come on through, just going to be seeing the Lings wanting to try and get a big wrap around here. I mean, this seems like the moment for, to just kind of break as Solar, because, Q doesn't have his tank sieged up. His defensive position's been completely broken apart by these previous few attacks, and he's just not quite had the time to recuperate that position. And that's a big part of being able to survive against wave after wave of Zerg here, typically. So this and that is very notable, and I think that's what you're seeing right now. Q just falling apart a little bit, and Solar, again, with all of the money in the world here on Tropical Sacrifice, is punching through for a pretty solid victory. GG's, and Solar is going to take a Game 1 victory in this best of 5. Guys, as we kick off into next action, is in the top right-hand side, our red Zerg player from Onsite Gaming, Solar. And the bottom left, our blue Terran player is going to be from Dragon Phoenix Gaming, QA. Do I know if anyone is casting World Team League? Unfortunately, it's not my job to know what everyone in the world of StarCraft 2 is casting at any point in time, so I unfortunately do not know if anyone is casting World Team League. I would advise going to the TL.net website. On the right-hand side, there is a calendar, and usually all the streams casting an event are linked under the event on the calendar. It's the easiest way to check anything, so that would be my advice. There will definitely be a stream, even if it's not in English, though, I'm sure. The drones coming up as we get going into game number 2 of this best of 5 series. We get this one started. And yeah, Solar, kind of convincing in the end, right? I mean, he was under some heavy pressure initially. It was a bit back and forth. It was a bit non-stop. But in the very end, he got it done. And, I mean, again, at the very end, he really had Q just crumbling apart, right? So it was, like I say, a pretty sizable advantage by that point. As we now have ourselves game 2 to wonder about. Slowly, how you doing? How's everyone doing today? Welcome. Is everyone ready for the weekend? Yes, I hope so. It's going to be a fun weekend, I hope. I'll be off tomorrow, just as a little reminder to you guys. I'll be back on Sunday for the playoffs, semi-finals, and finals of this tournament. We're going to crown ourselves a champion of our $10,000 event, so it should be a whole bundle of fun. Very much so looking forward to it. And there's the first queen, a couple queens start up already, so just going to get that underway. Two queens and 4 lings just all coming through. The factory building on the side of Q and the command center about halfway done as well. It's just going to be seeing that Reaper coming up. Going to get a first shot on a Ling. The drone's starting to take some hits as well. Other couple Lings coming back around the other side. Drone will cancel up on the Spore Crawler. I'm just going to see the other Lings coming back through. Reaper still taking some amount of damage. And a command center into the main base. So just going to see triple CC here on Waterfall as well. Secure really is quite happy playing this macro-focused opener repeatedly. Just doesn't feel the need to put, an insane amount of pressure on immediately. is very happy to kind of take his own economy into his own hands and just kind of run from there, rather than kind of relying on solo, maybe messing up a defense or just having a bad time. All of that kind of stuff that you can oftentimes see in these situations. Reaper gets turned around by the Queen. The Queen gets back and actually does start to strike that Reaper a little bit, so some damage being done. The Ling is looking to come forward, trying to grab the Reaper as well, but not quite able to just yet. We do have the Reaper able to take down one Zergling at the very least. A couple of Hellions, a Marine. All of this still on the way out from Cure, as those couple extra SCVs also continuing to produce. Obviously, with Waterfall being a shorter map, you can imagine Cure's pressure and initial attacks, even off the 3cc, will still pack a bit more of a punch, right? And that's something that Solo has to keep on top of. He needs to try and stay ahead of the Terran when it comes to that production and such. Like with the Marines, we'll take down the Overlord, which was just looking for some information. We'll have seen them starport without an add-on, for example. Did he see the Tech Lab Racks, I guess is maybe the question now. We're going to go for Marauder Hellbat attack after this. He did see the Tech Lab Racks. That could maybe be on the mind of Sola. It's not the most obvious thing, because obviously it's after a 3cc, so you're doing a very eco opening. To then really heavily dive into a very committed attack with the Hellbats. It's a bit of a different way to go about it for sure. As we'll see if Sola can get the right amount of stuff up at the right time here to survive and put himself in great position. First ball crawler going down up on the top. Again, the two Hellions and the Reaper just going to pull back. Northward bound as well. Just a little bit here. Again, those few Hellions joining up on the natural. And we do have ourselves that armory ticking along. It's not going to be far until it finishes. And once that is done, brought into play, you can imagine this is going to continue to go very, very well for our Terran player. A little bit of pressure on. Like I say, he doesn't need to do insane amounts, he's got triple CC, although only 40 SCVs. His SCV production has not been completely consistent this entire time, probably in part due to the build he's going for. Solo's preparation, he doesn't have a lot, put it that way. I mean, this needs to be a very good defense as the Queens going to start putting some damage out. They need to start splitting in different directions to try and minimize any splash damage that might happen. If we get rid of the medevac very quickly, that's good. We need to get rid of that medevac, otherwise obviously you just get overrun. You can never actually out DPS the healing, especially as the queen count goes a bit lower. As 28 new lings are on the way, Sola has lost a significant number of queens. He's replacing those as well. If he holds this without taking any worker damage, I still think it can be okay for Cure, but that's really the ideal here for Sola. If he holds without worker damage, he can look at this and say, well, you know, I was on a good worker camp beforehand. Yes, I traded badly, but I was always in a good eco position. So far, it's 500 resources lost worse off for him. Might be a case where Cure actually backs away with some of these units, able to keep some of those alive, as now Sola goes into the trifecta of tech. The Carapace upgrade, the Baneling Nest, and the Lair continuing to produce. And Queens come over, Hellbats get pushed back yet again, and Marauders too, also getting pushed away with that. And we just see the Zerglings of Sola making their way down to the bottom side. We do see the double reactor coming up on the barracks. And our Hellbats at the front will just pick their way through the Zerglings. The Lings going to come in, go after a lot of these SCVs. Seven workers going down. A couple of queens coming across and really trying to see if they can keep on chasing. I mean, there's a Marauder that's low. This queen might be a bit too far forward, although the Marines now might actually, well, the Lings now might be able to catch this. Going for the surround, looking to grab it. A couple more units showing up. When we actually kill these units, oh my goodness, they're unkillable. Finally gets a few of them. Just took a little while, you know. An interesting kind of, you know, lengthening of this engagement that we've been seeing so far. Kind of thought it would be a little bit funkier than that, as Hellions and the Liberator make their way up the left side of the map now, and just going to be seeing another hatchery coming down. The Hydrogen is currently in production. That Baneling speed still coming through as well, as our Hellions try and get themselves a lava, unable to there, morphing Hellions into Hellbats, and he still just has that armory, so may as well make use of it, try and get some damage on this hatch. Try and force Sola to take a trade he doesn't want to, as Sola is once again going to hit the Hydroden. Now, Kira is playing 8 racks, so this one is going to be like as much pressure as you can bring on 3 bases pretty much. It's kind of important we don't lose too many SCVs here. This build is all about momentum, and taking worker damage is going to, you know, stop the momentum from building as high as it could. Few Banes is going to go waddling around. This Liberator comes through, is going to siege up atop this mineral line, and a few of those drones will begin to drop down as well. So 3-4 workers already dying off. Nothing's running across for a couple of Marines. 7-8 drones now killed, making 9. It's going to be having a few Marines still after the Overlord as well. So 11 and 12 drones actually picked away at here. The rest of these Zerglings want to go running by in towards the main base. If they get through into the natural, they're going to head in towards the main. These Marines continuing to get challenged here for the moment. Those few Lings continue to run after the Marines, and just going to see the rest of these Marines being picked away at as well. So a lot of the Marines beginning to go down. 14 drones have died. On the other side of the map, that harassment was fantastic from Cure. And suddenly Cure is, well, going to have these very aggressive attacks coming across the map while also having just taken a worker lead as a Terran player. Yeah, now carving out the creep in the middle, so the continued attacks here are going to be fantastically easy to execute from Cure as well. And it feels as though Cure is looking very good on his own map pick here to try and tie up this best of 5 to a 1-1 scoreline. Bit more bio up the left, and we will get rid of a couple more creep teamers. Banes coming through, a couple of Widow Mines going off. A couple of Banes making their way by, and a few Hydras are looking to try and see what they can do as well. The bio's still stemming up this ramp. The Banes are going to turn once more. The Marauder gets chased. I mean, it's just going to be a super uphill battle here from Solar as Cure. Again, his build is designed to punish any lapse in the Zerg setup, and that's exactly what we've had here. Complete lapse in the Zerg setup. With those drones dying, too much economy lost, and suddenly Solar can't even deal with the first wave, and if you can't deal with the first wave, it just gets bigger and larger and more problematic. It doesn't get any easier from there, put it that way. Not get any easier. A little bit more bio coming across, a few more Lings getting chased. Actually, if Kira is going to start splitting up, he's actually going to start a 4th base, which I'm surprised about. I felt like he had enough to go breaking across the other side. I wonder if he's a little afraid of it being Hydras, and he's afraid he just won't quite break through before... Yeah, before he kind of, you know, runs into lurkers or something. I wonder if it could also just be a situation of, you know, he feels as though, well, I'm in a pretty good position already. I can afford to keep the pressure up while expanding. So if I can do that, why not just do that? Because then I can just get the best of both worlds. I have a backup plan in case I don't fully break you. I'm just not fully committed, you know, and needing to do game-ending damage. It just gives me a bit more freedom and takes a bit of the pressure off my back for what has to happen in this game. And I think that's been a pretty good call, because as you can see, the pressure is still going wonderfully, and he is obviously going to have that backup plan available to him as well. That is GG's, and that is us going to a game number 3 with everything tied up here in this best of 5. Left, we do have our blue Terran player from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. This is Cure. Having tied this 1-1, gotta be feeling pretty good about that. In the bottom right hand side, the red Zerg play here is Solar. You got Hero's autograph when he's in Vancouver. Was that the BTSL event? Yeah, that was fun. That's one of my favorite, I think that's one of my favorite trips I've been on. StarCraft related. But just the community aspect. I mean, for me it was a multi-part trip, but the Vancouver part was a lot of fun. The community aspect of an event. It all going wrong and pulling it off anyway. That's fun. Alright, anyways, game 3 here, guys. We got this underway. Let's get to someone's camera. Seeing what will happen. Hatch, Gas, and Pool on the opening for the moment, just getting that started off. Hatch gas pool, Reaper on the way on the side of Cure, getting that set up as well, so all of that just coming in for the moment. You guys read it as being in a van. Yeah, you don't have to kidnap the players to get their signatures. They will, oftentimes they'll just let you, they'll just sign it if you ask. You don't have to kidnap them. Today we learned. Reaper coming by, Extractor going down. The CVs will come up and a couple more queens will continue on. And yeah, just, I mean, obviously opening moments of day to see, waiting to see where we're going to get to, how things are going to develop here. You have a hatchery on the top side from Solar, just getting started as well. So it's getting that up and running. As the Reaper sits down on the low ground, factory is about to complete. We do once again just see 3CC from Curious, so he's really sticking to this 3 commands into build. He's really not moving away from this. As maybe just while we have a few moments here, ooh, second rack. So going to be a little bit more kind of bio-aggressive follow-up this time around. Obviously Hellbat's Marauders last time. Just different openings each time. It's very cool off the 3CC. So still a lot of variety, even though the base plan remains very similar. Yeah, I was just going to say, obviously we haven't talked much about the bracket. I wasn't able to show it on stream yesterday because I had to rush off and do our other sponsor. But, yeah, the way this bracket looks, if you've not checked the bracket page, Solar vs. Cure obviously sit at the top of the quarterfinals. The match on the same side of the bracket is Kellezer vs. Clem. And then on the bottom half of the bracket, we have Max Pax taking on Nightmare. And we have ourselves a Björn fighting against Raynor. And that's going to be our last series today. So it's quite the day of StarCraft lined up, if I do say so myself. Looking pretty good, looking pretty fun. I'm excited to see how the games all come to pass. As you have our Overlord here getting chipped down by a couple of Marines, but he does see the 3rd CC, so he gets confirmation there. Did he get far enough in to see the extra barracks and the stim? I feel like that would be bad positioning from Cure if he had. He got close, but he doesn't see it, so he doesn't know what the follow-up is. That's obviously pretty notable. That's something that which really obviously could help you as so if you knew about it. You can maybe start up an earlier Evo, get that carapace upgrade that people like to play when they're playing against any sort of 2 racks opening. Just a lot of possibilities that we really can play there. The aliens and a Reaper battling through. We got a couple of creep teamers picked off. As you just see, our depots will be building. Just going to get another depot going down. It's going to be seeing a couple of Evo chambers coming in, our drones building, our Lings, our Queen. All of this continuing to get set and ready to rumble for the moment. Marines going to unload out in the center, so we've got Marines and a Hellion or 2 ready to come running on forward here, so in we go. Marines will go after a Overlord. Queen's looking to try and fight back a bit too. Hellion's around the right hand side, looking to see if they can get a wrap around, get a surround of some of this Marine Hellion force. Say so far, not quite able to, or not really wanting to go down. Just want to hold his own, hold the creep spread. Trying to get these new tumors online. Obviously just start pushing that creep out in front of the 4th base as well. It'd be really a shame if that were to not happen. That really could cause some issues for you further down the line, so that's something you do want to be careful about, on top of making sure you can deal with this. Lings come for a wrap around, Hellions go down, Marines being killed. I'm just going to have that forced lift here, and Kira just going to have to back away over to the left side just a little bit. Our Marines and our tanks will gather back up on the naturally come through, get a couple of creep teamers. Our Lings want to try and wrap around on these Marines. The Marines will just lift off, back away to the upper left once again. Just escaping out of there. Again, just going to be seeing our melee upgrades continuing through. Alling Bane is producing. Last melee upgrade is something that Solar can maybe use in his own favor. You know, maybe not for 1-1, but for 2-2. There's definitely like some timings where you're 2-2 and the Terran's 1-1. It becomes very difficult for the Terran to hold that off. It's just the power of the Lings and the Banes in that situation is obviously absolutely huge. The Lings will try and run up this ramp. The rest of the bio coming back along. Those couple of Lings is going to go running out again. A bit more Ling Bane still in the center. A lot of Marines and tanks through the middle as well. And Medivacs continue to heal these up. Those couple of Lings already going to be taken out here as our Marines and our tanks getting set. The tanks will siege. Well, this getting set to go. 10 Banes on the way out, 34 Zerglings, 38 Zerglings even on the way. He is building a 4th base, don't get me wrong, this is not mega aggression or anything. He is obviously got a sizable push here, but this is not a push that's just looking to necessarily end the game. He's very happy to fall back if he can. Solo's going to counterattack, and that obviously gives him a couple of options. A, counterattacking will be just flanking this force. Either would be pretty reasonable. I think he's going to come in for the full surround, try and stop these Marines from running away. Kira realizes what's going on. The Medivacs will just lift up whatever they can to evacuate. That's obviously the power of the Medivacs, always having a way out for those units, just in case things get a little bit tricky, is very, very nice to have on your side. So, does lose the tanks, did lose a few of the Marines, but obviously that's the sort of fight that could have been so much worse if you just kind of let it develop and you didn't have that evacuation strategy ready to go. So yeah, very good that we had that set as we do kill off this hatchery, and Marines are going to go jump into the main base. 2-2, drilling claws, an extra factory. His production just really, again, taking all the routes towards this, being a long game, similar to what we saw in Tropical Sacrifice. It's not quite as macro-y as Tropical, but definitely not far from it. So definitely another one which Solar I don't think will necessarily mind if that's the case. I do really feel like when Solar hits 2-2 though, he's going to be pretty aggressive, because you see no Hydroden or anything from him. Okay, now he puts the Hydroden down. Thanks, Solar. But he didn't have a Hydroden down, so it kind of felt as though he definitely wanted to put a lot of effort into the +2/+2 setup. He's already got the Hive as well, so this Hydroden isn't even going to really be for Hydras. He might get a few Hydras in passing, but the main part of this plan should be to go directly into the Lurkers here from Solar. And if he can get directly into those Lurkers, he should be able to have a very good time as our Marines push through for a good amount of creep tumors. A lot of creep spread being denied pretty much instantly. And Marines loading up and pulling away at a moment's notice there. See if he comes out the bottom side, just coming across. Trying to get set up. Lings looking to wrap around. Some of these Banelings looking to come pushing through as well. You have the Lings and the Banes going to split up a little bit. A few of these Marines going down also. I'm just going to be seeing the hatchery here does get knocked down. Our Bioforce looking to keep on coming through with the hatchery fallen. We've got the Lings continuing through as well. Looking to wrap around for these Marines. The Widowmine at the top is currently inactive, and we will again have Solo just able to keep pushing this back. This is the power of the 2-2 right now as well, obviously, for him. Able to take some better trades than usual. So that's going to be the end of his 2-2 as well. He's actually not got much money to rebuild with, by the way, and kind of low on supply, so maybe this wasn't all sunshines and rainbows for Solar. 96 to 119 supply at the moment. This overseer will get set up as we just have our little scan coming through. Oh, amazing Widowmine shot's gonna hit a lot of those Lings. That's a massive connection. Just gonna be seeing our Lings coming back around. Gonna go after a few of those Widowmines. Bio being chased. The Banes continue to hunt them down. Just going to be seeing that Bio now turn back around. A few of these Lings going to get pushed back. The Hydra's getting chased away. Lots of damage being done here. The Marines are not stopping, by the way. The Hydras are gone. Solo's struggling to keep up on this top side, and Kira really is beginning to bust through this. 165 to 200 supply at the moment. Solar is in trouble, looking to go down 1 to 2 with Terran maps upcoming. It's not going to be a pretty place for him to be in, as yeah, it looks as though Kira is looking very good right now. Looking to take the lead in this best of 5 up to 2-1 advantage. Looking very, very good for him. His lane's coming rushing forward and just going to be going after the Marines and the Marauder. Hydra's continue to chase the Medivacs, and the Medivacs will take a lot of damage as well. So even more shots coming through, and our Queen's back on that bottom right, still putting some work in. These Queens up here are going to drop a little transfusion. The rest of our bio coming over, and a lot of these Queens, I mean, just Queen after Queen continuing to go down repeatedly pretty much. And there goes the Hydra, here go the Lings, a couple of Banes get pulled into this, connecting a little bit, but nothing too crazy. It's going to be seeing our Hatchery low HP, and just going to be having Kira really does have too much. Guys, Soul has not been able to keep up, and Kira will take the lead. And a very important point of this series, of course, so looking very good for him. As our Medivacs going to pull back a little bit, the rest of the bio trying to push forward, a couple of these extra Banes trying to morph in now as well. GG says Solar. Kira is at a 2-1 lead, and this best of 5 is in his hands. All you have to do is get to level 5. Then you can do whatever you wish. If you don't want to play anymore, uninstall it, delete the game. Just get to level 5 and you're good to go. You use my link, but no, if you use the link, that's all you have to do. Use the link, get to level 5. You don't have to join our clan. You don't really want to be part of our clan right now because we kind of got killed last night. Our neighboring alliance decided to come and mess us up, and we couldn't quite defend. So all you gotta do is get to level 5. I wouldn't quite advise trying to join the Wardy clan. We're in shambles. It's not going great, but yeah, if you get to level 5, that's all we need you to do. It helps. You got to level 5, yeah, I think you got there yesterday, right? I think you mentioned it. There's a few that came in when I went offline yesterday as well, so it's absolutely there. Yeah, okay, yeah, I was playing Crossfire. Like, I got 5 while I was doing the Crossfire stuff, so obviously it wasn't on screen, but they did come through, so yeah, it should have counted, for sure. You only have a Mac. I know, if you've only got a Mac, I appreciate you can't do it. That's all good. I know not everyone can. But if you can, check it out. Like I say, 34 more people. We get a $1,000 balance patch mark. How exciting is that? Real exciting. Real exciting. Stargazers, first couple of minutes, nothing too exciting happening to begin with. Obviously, we do question a little bit what we do on Stargazers as the Zerg. I think Solar had a really good strategy for this map the other day when he was playing against... What we were casting Solar in the other day, guys? Was it Solar? Who were we casting on this map that used the lane drops into the in-base and stuff like that? Was that Solar in this event? Was that Solar in the group stages? Why can't I remember this? Was that Solar against Spirit? I think it might have been, right? Yeah, that was a sick game. Oh, this was crazy. Yeah, yeah, it was really crazy. So what he did was he took a chance to eventually mine out these minerals, and so he could run by into this back base. But that was after he did multiple things. First he dropped lings in, and then after he dropped lings in, he mined them out, and he ran lings in, and he was just very active on the in base, and it really did make the difference. It was against Spirit, right? Yeah, that was a genuinely a really cool game, and it's difficult to use that back expansion, you know, to be aggressive on that back expansion, because you shouldn't really be allowed access, but Solo just kind of tried everything, and kept trying until he got the opportunity to work. So yeah, that was really cool. I like that a lot about his game the other day, and excited to see if he'll do it more. Once again here, as we just have a couple Hellions sitting at the front, Reaper's going to come join back up with those couple of Hellions, and we do have our Queens continue to build on out. Hellions and the Banshee all coming through for the moment. And that commence into building on the in-base from QA. Overlord making its way back around the center. Banshee, the couple of Hellions, all of that continuing up for the moment, just bringing that through. That's going to be the first time we've seen a Banshee in this series, so Kua go for some damage early, maybe also a bit of defense just in case Solo does something a bit wild, because again, this is maybe not the friendliest Zerg map, so it's very possible Solo gets a bit aggressive on his own accord early on in this game, just to try and mix things up a little bit. Absolutely a possibility. The Hellions and the Reaper get pushed back. A couple of Queens just going to sit over there. The last still building, the 5 drones, the 6 Lings. All of this being brought through as 2 Hellions and the Reaper will not get rid of that creep too much. More drones coming up. Bane Nest, all that continuing through. A couple of extractors coming in. Hellions of Cure continue over this far right hand side. Ready for a run by into this mineral line here, so looking for a push in. As do you have the extra Evo chamber still coming up. The Baneling Nest is about to finish. The extra Lings are producing. And yeah, the Hellions just continue to get set up in the center. Banshee is making its way around the corner of the map. So Banshee coming around the side, just going to be seeing that drone. Already chased away a little bit, just going to get rid of a couple of creep teamers here. And the Hellions continue to hit this Queen. We do get rid of, getting rid of this hatch is nice. Just going to cancel there, immediately slow down Solo's 4th base. Banshee's revealed, Banshee's going to be known about. And Solo immediately in position. So the Banshees won't do any other damage, but yeah, they did something useful to begin with at the very least, right? It wasn't a bad thing to reveal yourselves doing initially. Yeah, that 1-1 still coming up then. The extra Marines coming through. That stim pack is on its way in. As you see the couple of Banshees make their way up the right-hand side and ready to go nab a few of these incoming drones. One, two, 3. Drones going down. Now going to get to the back of this natural. Queen takes a couple shots. Going to go after these drones once again. So 3, 4, 5 drones getting picked up here. And just going to be seeing all the way to 9 drones killed. Good damage. This is the sort of damage that you can run away with. It's in a ZvT like this, a map that's pretty nice for the Terran. Zerg can't find any counts. I like that Soul's gone for much faster hydrogen this time. I think that makes a ton of sense. It's going to be hard to kind of get through with just Ling Bane run-bys on this map, so kind of heading straight towards Ling Bane Hydra instead. Like I say, it makes a lot of sense, but I feel like Kira is really set up nicely so far. Hellion's going to hit the bottom right. We are going to get rid of an Overlord on the top. As we push up this ramp, the first creep team is going down. Drones being chased. Drones are dying. 5 workers already killed, but Soul actually cleans up in the main base really well. His drop went nowhere. Damn. Well, this was kind of scary for Soul. He loses 6 more drones to Harassment. It's still not great for him, but getting rid of the drop in the main base so easily really makes his entire life that much more easy. Because if that was still alive, it would still be a problem now, and you're still having to push back while dealing with this other drop. Instead, Solo just has one thing to worry about. There's one Widow Mine. God damn it. Widow Mine shots have been amazing so far. Repeatedly just getting insane connections. Do have our Queens pushed on the Hellions. Yes. Man, it was just as it was maybe starting to turn back into like, oh god, some hope for Solo, feeling good for him. It's like looking good again. Suddenly that Widow Mine obviously just ruins his day. As his Marines have to lift into the medevac, evacuate what he can. But yes, Kira's just going to keep on pushing, and again, that Widowmine specifically, I think, is just going to be the one thing that really makes this almost impossible to hold, instead of it being maybe a bit of back and forth opportunity. Two Banes connecting as Marine's taking some shots, couple more Hellbats. Continue to take hits as more Banes continue to crash on through. Yeah, Solar just struggling everywhere. I mean, at least he's holding 4 bases, but Q is moving his own 4th base over right now, so looking to equalize this base count in the next few moments. Solar needs some magic, and like I say, it's hard to find magic on Stargazers, because on Stargazers, it's hard to find run buys, it's hard to find mineral lines that are open to attack, and if you can't find those open to attack mineral lines, you are going to have a bad time. So, yeah. A little bit rough there, so you get rid of some Lings and some Hydras. Going to be seeing the Hydras getting back into action, and a couple of the Banes setting up on this top side as well. It's going to be seeing the Hydras here. Oh, it's going to push back. Medivacs a little bit. We see the rest of this bio running down to the bottom right corner. Mine going off on Marines coming through. The Hydra's already taking quite a bit of damage. It's going to be seeing a couple of Queens coming back here as well, and the Queens continuing to get going. These Queens continue to take some shots as the Queens, the Hydras, the Banes continuing by. The Widowmine shot goes off for the Overseer. We do have the tank taken down. Solar valiantly trying to defend, but while we watch this go well for him, what about this? Supply blocked as well, so he can't even make the units he will need. Well, he gets forced to lift up here, Kira, at least, and Solar will slow him down for a moment or two. He's keeping himself alive in this series for that little tiny bit longer. But overall, it is not looking brilliant. It's not looking too great. And it looks as though we are going to have a TVT top side of this bracket, because Kua, if he wins this, will advance to play the winner of Clem and Kalazur in the semi-finals on Sunday. Things come through. He's going to go grab that, or try to grab that Marauder. We did not quite manage it, as our Biostim is on the bottom right. Gonna get rid of a Creep Tumor, Hatchery. Let's keep him on build, and the Queens get here. Medivac's pushed away immediately. Things, Hydra's, Banes is gonna go pushing forward. We do have the few Banes. Just not really ever gonna be enough. Our Bio's still pushing forward. Our few Banelings here gonna continue through as well. These Banes get knocked down. The Lings keep on getting knocked. Our Banelings will keep on going. And that's Cure taking the 3-1 lead victory in this opening best of 5 of our quarterfinals. GG's.